Hey besties, welcome back to Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie. I'm Lisa Marie. Today is part of my One and Done series, and I'm going to be bringing you a Thanksgiving cornucopia. Cannot wait to show it to you, so let's get started right now. I found these woven placemats at Hobby Lobby. It came 3 for $9.99 and they were 40% off. So I'm just going to use one for this project. And I cut off the tag, and what I'm doing to make this cornucopia, I was imagining that I could roll this up, line it with some burlap, and then create the inside of the cornucopia. If you buy a basket that's already shaped right, it's so expensive. So I wanted to figure out how to do this. I teach a craft class for senior citizens once a month, and so this is a project they asked to do. So I was testing it out here on my channel. And by the way, we did do it and they loved it. So you can see I'm just cutting out a couple pieces of burlap that I got at Walmart, hot gluing it down. I don't need to cover the whole thing because that part that isn't covered is going to be like the opening. But I didn't want things to slip through or you'd be able to see all the stems of the different greenery. So I'm just hot gluing everything. Now when I did it with the senior citizens, I sewed the pieces on. So I just did that in advance and it made it a little easier for them. I've got tons of floral and vegetable and whatever kind of things to put in there. Most of them came from Hobby Lobby and a few things came from Dollar Tree, but when I was looking for this stuff, I found it mostly at Hobby Lobby. So there's little corn on the cob, there's gourds and pumpkins and sunflowers and beautiful fall leaves, you name it, all kinds of fall type things. I'm going to cut up some of those leaves into smaller pieces. I'm going to hot glue them on the inside, and I want them to be spilling out. You know how cornucopias are. Everything's kind of spilling out. Sometimes people tell me in the comments that they're going to make something that either I've made or they were inspired to make. So if you do, check me out over on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, and you can send me a picture of it there. That would be really cool. So these leaves will be like my base and everything will kind of go around that. Next, I'm going to take these really cool looking berries and a couple of the sparkly leaves that are on there, and I'm just going to hot glue those in, and I'm just arranging them kind of in the way that I think looks good. And I'm going to take one of those little corn on the cobs, and I'm just going to put hot glue right down one side and have it sticking half in and half out because I want to be able to see it. And then those really pretty sparkly picks, I'm going to hot glue 2 of them inside and have them again mostly sticking out. Then this sparkly leaf, I'm going to do that more to the opposite side because I really want that to show. I want that to just be very prominent. And then I'm going to get this orange and burgundy or rust raffia, and I'm just going to cut up some pieces and kind of shove it in lightly because I want that to be filler. And I've got these skewer sticks from Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is stick them in the bottom of the pumpkins and gourds, and that allows me to get them in there and still have them showing. So I'm going to spend some time arranging them, and then I'll put some hot glue on the tips of the skewer so they will be more secure. And these little flowers came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut the picks into little stems, and I'm going to shove them in there with a little glue on the end too. That was a way that things can stick in there. You can kind of stick it into the burlap with the glue on there, and then it holds it in place. And then this is a hula skirt that I've had for a while from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use that for some filler. And then these kind of, wheat looking things, I forget what they're called. But again, I'm always sticking the hot glue on the end and then weaving it into the burlap so it has a place to adhere to. Now it's really starting to shape up and I really love the way it looks. And just adding more and more of these really beautiful fall picks. If you like to watch videos while you're crafting, check out my mega video playlist in my description box. And then the sunflower, that's kind of like the piece de resistance. So I'm going to have one sunflower in there, and I'm just going to kind of place it strategically so it really shows well. So now I'm going to take some ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to wrap one piece all the way around, not the very bottom, but kind of just above the bottom, and I'm going to hot glue it. Now I'm not going to make the bow with this ribbon. I'm going to use this as just a base. Now you could do it all on the same ribbon if you wanted. I love mixing up ribbons, and I just thought for an example for the senior class, this would be super fun to show them all the different options. And they don't really have tons of craft skills, so I am going to end up making a messy bow because that's the easiest bow really to make. So I'm going to take all kinds of ribbon, just all fall ribbon, you name it, and I'm going to cut them into like 6-inch pieces. And then I'm going to show you here real slow. I'm going to dovetail all the ends before I assemble this ribbon. So I'm putting those 3 rust ones together right now, folding the end in half, and then I'm going to cut from the edges towards the center, and that gives a tuxedo tail or a dovetail. You hear people call that as well. I'm going to do it to the other side, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera. Now that I have all the ribbons dovetailed, I'm just going to crisscross them. You can do this in any order you want, biggest to smallest, smallest to biggest, mix them up like I did. Honestly, whatever you want. I'm going to grab them right in the center and squeeze real tight. I'm going to take a very small piece of jute twine, wrap it around the middle till it's really tight, and then I'm going to tie it off in a knot and cut the little excess. I also like to add a little bit of hot glue just to make sure that the jute is secure. And then I'm just going to start fluffing the bow, pulling out all of the little pieces and just arranging it so it looks really, really cute. Now I'm going to see how that might look, and I think I'm going to end up doing it sideways because I'm going to have the cornucopia laying on its side. If you were hanging it, you could switch it. I'm going to take some of the orange raffia and I'm going to wrap it around a couple fingers about 6 or 7 times. The more times you wrap, the thicker it will be. And then I'm going to tie off in the middle and make another little bow and cut the loops open with my scissors. So do you decorate for Thanksgiving, and have you ever made a cornucopia? I never have. This is my first time, and I was just curious if other people did that. Once I cut the loops open, I'm going to go ahead and trim both sides because there's always going to be a piece here and there that's longer than another one, and I want both sides to be even. And I will hot glue that directly to the center of my messy bow. I'm going to take a little black button and I'm going to hot glue that right in the center of the raffia bow, and then my bow looks so cute and it is complete. And now I'm going to hot glue it right on top of that ribbon, and as I mentioned before, going sideways because this is going to be laying on its side. And it turned out so cute, you guys. I absolutely love it, and you have to let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I want you to know that you are a blessing to me. If you like this video, I'll put a couple more up on the screen that I think you'll really like, so feel free to check them out.